What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Skeleton Closet, where we talk celebrity news and hot topics. And today, the saga of the talk and the drama continues, and we gotta talk about it. So, let's get into the video.
I'm gonna just run down my shout outs.
All right, so over the weekend, there has been some new developments as far as the talk and the controversy that surrounds the conversation, the heated debate with Sheryl Underwood and Sharon Osbourne. There was a report that came out yesterday that was titled, "The Talk Goes on Brief Hiatus Amid Probe into Heated Debate Involving Sharon Osbourne." Now, on Friday, CBS announced that they were launching an investigation into that same debate between Sheryl Underwood and Sharon Osbourne. CBS released a statement saying, "We are committed to a diverse, inclusive, and respectful workplace." CBS said in a statement Friday night, "All matters related to the Wednesday episode of The Talk are currently under internal investigation." Now, we all remember what that conversation looked like. I talked about it on this channel. If you haven't seen those videos, I'll definitely pop the cards up top so that you all can check that out. But after that heated conversation with Sharon Osbourne, Sheryl Underwood went on Steve Harvey's radio show and had a couple things to say as far as that particular conversation. So let's just take a listen.
Sheryl Underwood.
Hey.
Cheryl,
Hey,
Cheryl,
hey.
Cheryl.
Hey.
Yes.
Cheryl.
Hey.
Cheryl.
Hey. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Let's skip all the pleasantries.
Mm-hmm.
We need all the time to talk about this. I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind.
You were trending. I want to get from you how you felt about everything that occurred on the talk. The whole position that you had with Piers Morgan. How did you feel about it? How did you feel about Sharon Astorn's remarks? You know, and
Don't correct in time.
and everything. I said what I know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know you did it. I know.
And how did you feel about it? And how are you? Just as my little sister, how are you?
Well, Steve, I'm gonna tell you what God loves, and that's the truth. I think that this is about discipline. It's about restraint and being a better me. You know, because you wake up every day, you know, and everybody, especially people of color, go through this all the time. There's just no cameras pointing at you. Mm-hmm. Nobody get to see it. Nobody know it. And today was my day, and I accept the blessing of the lesson. I accept that because I thought, you know, with Piers, you know, because Piers Morgan had been on the show before, been on the talk before. And I think one of the last times he was on, I think was via Skype or via Zoom, and he said something about Meghan Markle, and I believe he said something about it's not about race, and I said yes it is, it's about her being black, and that's why you're treating her like that. I love you, but that you wrong for that right there, and that was what I said. So in thinking that, you know, because I watched the whole thing. I watched the whole interview, Tommy and them. I watched it all. And I could see their pain and what they're feeling. And, you know, we live a very, very good life. So the first thing I'm thinking that I'm about to have a conversation on the show that I've been on since season 2. This is season 11. Been there since 10 years. I never thought in my mind what was going to happen, that this was going to go left like this. I thought we were just going to have a conversation, but I thank God. I thank God for what the Lord let me see, and the conversations that are being had and the power that's being coalesced, because the world needs to see what people have to go through, and that restraint and that blessing. Words I can say right now is peace be still, because I had to fix my face, Carla and Shirley.
Yeah. Now, Cheryl, hold on right there. We're going to come back. We're talking to Sheryl Underwood today. We'll be back with more Sheryl Underwood from The Talk right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, everybody, we're back, and we're talking with Sheryl Underwood and her feelings. And before we left, Sheryl, you were saying, first of all, let me say that all of us on the show were beyond proud of the way you handled the situation.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we
We first of all thought you handled it masterfully.
Yes,
Yes.
she did.
I mean, just really, really well. And you told the truth. I did not appreciate Sharon Ashtorn's the way she came and talked about, and you don't need to be crying over there. I need to be one to be crying. But you crying for what? Ain't nobody did nothing to you. Ain't nobody said nothing to you. Now, just because you want to run to the defense of Piers Morgan, what Piers Morgan, the problem with solving racism is when you don't know what you're doing is racist.
Right. Right.
If she were not black, we not even having this damn conversation about the baby, the royal family, or nothing
Amen.
else.
Amen.
If she was just a white girl, we ain't even having this conversation. Ain't nobody got to give Oprah no interview.
Right. This is true.
But see, and
That's right.
then,
Facts.
let me just say this here. Y'all came on today, the day after the whole thing, and ain't nobody bring up the subject. You want to know why I think? This is just me talking. Ain't nobody, Cheryl ain't saying this. This Steve Harvey talking. The reason nobody said nothing was because the firestorm that came to your defense, I mean, 1,000% people were behind the way you handled this, Cheryl. And they was eating up little Sharon Ashtorn all over the damn blogs and stuff. So now they want to come in and squash it. Oh, see, we won't start nothing right now. But the way you handled it and the way you even handling it now, see, you better than me. You better than me.
All of us.
Me and Tommy, I'm telling you, and Junior, we had a speech for their ass. But you still the class act. And we want to commend you for that. And the whole Phi Beta Sigma, all Z Phi B need to be had their chests out for their sister. Because you represented extremely well, Cheryl.
And women in broadcasting, black women, sisters
Absolutely.
in the struggle, all of that, Cheryl.
All of that, Cheryl. Because we know if it
Yeah.
was the other way around.
Oh,
Yeah.
ain't got that.
Well, I will tell you this. I got calls from all over the world for people that I was wondering, how did you find me? How do you know me? I was getting prayers. I was getting love. And I want people to know this. I believe that God was telling me, I have a plan for you. I am about to pour down a blessing upon you. I just need to know, are you ready? Because you will face this again. Servant, I need to know, are you ready? And I just wanted to be a better example for people who are working just a regular old job that had to compose themselves. And we are the only race of people that carry the race with us wherever we go. And we're responsible for that. And I want to thank everybody all over the world on social media, everybody in radio, television, news, everywhere. Everybody that reached out, what power you had to make me understand you have matured, Sheryl Underwood. You have matured. Because I could have messed it up, couldn't I? I could have messed it up.
Oh, yeah. The way you handled it was perfect. Now, listen to me. All jokes aside, I've always liked Sharon Osbourne and Ozzy. I've met them personally a couple of times overseas. Really, really, every time I've done the show, really, really kind people. But what people have to understand and start being sensitive to is you don't get to define for black people what racism is and how we ought to feel about it when we hear it. You don't have the right to tell us what the hell it should feel like. You ought not be crying. Wait a minute. You don't know what I've been through.
yeah. And the
She
tone
wasn't
in
crying
her
because
voice.
of your reaction. Sheryl Underwood was tearing up because she couldn't believe that she had to say it, and then y'all had a damn adverse reaction when she the person sitting up there got to deal with it, and a woman on top of all of that.
So as you heard, Sheryl Underwood is basically taking this very, very well as far as the conversation that she had with Sharon Osbourne. Seems like to me that she thought that was supposed to happen because now it is sparking conversations all over the world. And I want people to know, because I've been getting a lot of comments about this. I know that there has been a trend in the comments from my previous videos as far as, they didn't particularly say anything that was racist. They didn't say this, they didn't say that. Whoa. Okay, before I go any farther, because I know me saying that it's definitely not going to be enough. So I got some more receipts for y'all, and I forgot to mention this in the video because I was in a hurry, but you know what? I'm back with some more receipts. So if you all aren't aware, over the weekend on the 13th, Sharon Osbourne took to Twitter in response of the accusations that Holly Robinson Peete made about Sharon Osbourne getting her fired. She says, I am sharing an email to me from Holly 1 month after she was let go by CBS. As I have stated before, I have never had the ability/authority to get anyone fired from the talk. Now, in this email, Holly Robinson Peete subjects it as, hey, from Holly. She says, hi Sharon, hope you are enjoying your time off. Miss you madly. I have called you a few times, but I haven't heard back from you since the show aired. I've heard that you, like everyone else at the talk, are under some sort of gag order. A few brave souls have called me to wish me well and tell me the show is like a communist state where all are paralyzed in fear of the wrath of Julie. I have never seen anything like this in my life. The irony that you were the first one to quit, quote unquote, and yet we end up getting fired, and it's just crazy. Now, later on in the email, she talks about how CBS is doing some behind the scenes damage to her career with other studios and networks. Now, skipping past everything about her talking about Leah being angry, but as well as CBS blacklisting her and Leah, she says, if you are angry that I complained to CBS about Julie and the racist comment, I apologize, but I owe it to my family to try to stop the venomous lies Julie is spreading. I'm now being told I may need to take legal action to get her to stop trashing me. Sharon, I do really appreciate you still honoring your invite to my mom and Ryan to AGT. It meant the world to Ryan, but don't worry, I promise I won't put you in any more awkward situations anymore so as not to put you in a bad space with Les and Julie. Because trust me, it's not a fun place to be. XOXOX. Holly. Now, if you all don't remember, in the previous video, I did note a report that she did with Hollywood Reporter saying that she did not know who had her axed from the show. She said that she didn't know if it was Julie Chen or if she had anything to do with it. But more recently, Holly Robinson Peete did say that it was Sharon Osbourne that had her fired. Now, there has been extensive reporting on CBS and The Talk and whether or not Sharon Osbourne had a role in having her kicked off the show. Now, in the reporting, it shows that 3 months after Holly sent this email, she learned about Sharon's role in her getting her fired from the show and sent another email holding her accountable. So this email that Sharon is posting is only part of the story, but also an incomplete record of the events. Now, as far as Sharon Osbourne being racist, let's take reference to a interview that she did with the Daily Beast in 2013 in regards to the infamous video of Justin Bieber urinating in a bucket. In that interview, she says this, and I quote, "It's like pissing in a bucket. It's like, oh, we're the bad boys. Fuck off. You don't know what bad is. And I think that he's lost. I really do. I think he doesn't realize he's white and not black. That's a huge problem." That's a huge problem? What are you insinuating here, Sharon? That being black is bad? That being black leads you to want to do indecent things like peeing in a bucket? That isn't something that is exclusive to black people, okay? Peeing in a bucket is disgusting if you're doing it in public, but also that doesn't necessarily mean that he's trying to act black, okay? I don't really know what you're trying to insinuate here, but it's completely inaccurate and 100% offensive and racist. Definitely wanted to add in those receipts so that you all can check that out for yourselves. But there is clear evidence that Sharon Osbourne is racist and that she was defending her racist friend on The Talk, and that sparked a whole lot of controversy. All right, now let's get back to the video. And I just want y'all to know that racism doesn't just look like one thing. Racism can be blatant or it can be covert. Basically, to keep it short and sweet, my mama told me it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. And Piers Morgan and Sharon Osbourne have said some things in a way that is very racist. They've had racist undertones. Just step outside of yourself and put yourself in our shoes for a second and realize what we're saying. As far as this investigation in particular, I don't really understand what the need for it is. If talk shows can't have heated debates, if they can't get riled up every now and again, then what are they there for? If The View had an investigation every time there was a heated debate or one of the co-hosts got riled up, there would be an investigation every day. Or after a co-host got riled up, the show would never be on air. We would be watching reruns of The View every single day, if there were even to watch, because the ladies of The View are constantly getting into it. So I don't really understand what this need for an investigation and a hiatus is for. I definitely don't want them to cancel the show, because all of those ladies should not be affected by the actions of one woman. I definitely don't think that would be fair. And again, I don't really understand what this investigation or this hiatus is for. I definitely want to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you think anything is going to come of this investigation and hiatus? Do you think Sharon Osbourne is going to get fired? Do you think that they're going to come back with someone else in her chair? As well, hit that like button so that I can know how you felt about today's video. Hit that subscribe button so that you can be a part of the fam and join us in the closet. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.